Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Have you checked your pulse?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's that like? You don't score a field goal in 7 minutes, no points at all, over 4. Everything's hanging in the balance, and LeBron's got the ball. Like, just take us through your last thoughts there as it went in.
The last shot, I thought, the coaching staff, they did a good job of just, challenging the guys for the third quarter. Larry Drew, Mike Longobardi, Phil, D. Jones, Jim Boylan, just challenging our guys to come out and have a good third quarter. I thought the guys responded. I thought JR's defense in the second half was way better. We challenged JR at halftime, and he was great for us. So that third quarter, got us back in the game, being down 6. But, going down the stretch, I thought we just didn't attack early. Like, we got the switches we wanted to get, but we just waited too long. And by the time we got the ball, we had to, force a quick shot. So those last 6 or 7 minutes, we got to be better attacking early. If not, then we can make a pass and make another drive. You understand, Jason? Oh, okay. And that's what kind of got us bogged down. And but down the stretch, we went to 2 for 1 early. We tried to run the zip clear. Bronze to rip and go early on Thad to try to get the 2 for 1 situation, which we got, but we didn't go early enough, I didn't think. But they got the stop, and then Bronze switched on Oladipo. He got a big block, big stop, and called timeout and ran our play. And as soon as he left his hand, it looked perfect, like on target, and it looked good. And another big shot he made for us, so we needed that.
David Quinn, ESPN. In the moment, do you feel the magnitude of the shot, considering it's a 2-2 series? Say he misses it, maybe it goes overtime and Indiana could win. Do you feel the gravity of the moment of what he was able to, pull you guys out of?
I really didn't. As a player and as a coach, I think, for me, I just kind of black out those situations. You prepare for so long for those situations, and you have the best player in the world on your team, and if we get the ball to him, he's capable of delivering. So Jeff got it into him. LeBron got to a sweet spot and knocked down an open shot. I thought it was a big team win. I thought Kyle did a great job of getting us going early in that third quarter. Kevin and JR didn't shoot it well, but I thought defensively they were really good. Kevin rebounding the basketball, JR taking a challenge in the second half. So it was a total team effort. I know Bron had 44 points, but I thought overall defensively we were pretty good in that second half.
A quick follow on this whole coaching staff challenging the guys about the third quarter. What was that scene like? Was that at halftime, or was that leading up to Game 5? Or
just saying, come out, let's get a good warm-up. Like, let's not, let this third quarter slip away like we have, and just challenge the guys, JR in the second half to be great defensively, which he was, and just challenge the guys. And they got out early, got a good warm-up, and was able to score 32 points in that third quarter. So it might be the highest quarter of the series for us. So they did a good job of just coming out, getting stops, and we was able to play with pace in that third quarter.
Ron Potesta, the Sports Animal 1390. Lost in LeBron's clutch shot to end the game. You guys gave up 39 points in the second half after allowing 56. What did you do differently in the second half to do such a great job?
In that first half, we missed a lot of assignments. I didn't think we had the sense of urgency in that first half. I don't know why, but we missed a lot of assignments defensively, and they capitalized on all of those. So second half, we showed film, showed things we needed to clean up, and when JR was playing the way he did in the second half defensively, physical, into his body, no airspace, it really does wonders for our defense. So second half, we cleaned up a lot of stuff. But it's still one thing we need to clean up, and I'm not going to speak about it, but it's one thing we need to clean up, and I think we'll be pretty good.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. I know you said you like JR's defense and Kevin's rebounding, but when your second and third best scorers go 2 and 19.
And you win. That's big.
Yeah, you're not probably supposed to win games like that. Are you surprised you can win a game like that when those guys?
Funny as it may sound, our defense kept us in it, and Kevin and JR, they shoot the basketball, so do what you do. You're open, take the shots and hopefully make them. But if not, you just can't let it affect you. And second half, I thought defensively, like I said, JR was good. He was a little mad at himself at the first half because he missed some open shots. But, if he's playing defense like he is on Victor and What he finished with?
2 of 15, Victor.
2 for 15, 12 points. Then, we'll take that. So it always relied on our defense tonight, and we did a good job.
Ashley Bastock, Metro Networks. Ty, you guys looked like you were getting away from switching as much in the third quarter. How, if at all, does that just change the mentality on that end of the floor?
Man, you too smart. I can't answer that question. That might hurt us, but that's what we changed, though, in the second half. Just not switching on to the bigs, try to keep big on big and playing the pick and roll, 2-on-2. And, we try to stay away from the switching because they did hurt us in that first half. I thought Sabonis did. Thad really did. So we changed that in the second half, and, it helped our defense out a lot. Damn.
Ty over here, Ray Jeske, ESPN 990. It's got to be incredibly physically demanding for LeBron to keep attacking the way he is, the energy expenditure as well as the shots he's taking. But he took his foot off the pedal in the second half of the fourth quarter, that last part where he started to shoot from the outside, the basket stopped coming. He's having the best free throw shooting night maybe of his career. Would you have him do it over, if you could, differently in terms of keep attacking? Don't take your foot off the gas pedal in terms of attacking the basket.
Yeah, of course you would want him to. But like you said, you don't know if he got tired or whatever. So that's why to start that third quarter and, even just trying to get Kyle to run around, and guys were chasing Kyle. Now the floor is wide open. He can drive and get to the basket. And Kyle's movement really, opened the game up for us in that third quarter. So if we can put the ball in LeBron's hands, and Kevin and those guys are setting wide screens for Kyle, he's coming off a lot of action, then he gets a chance to rest while he has the ball in his hands. He doesn't really have to make a play every single time. So we have to do more of that. I think Kyle did a good job of running Oladipo around and making him chase, and we were able to get some good shots out of that too.
Scott Sargent, WFNY. It's going to kind of get lost in the shuffle with the way the game ended, but with Jose playing as well as he did in the third quarter, especially defensively and kind of taking charges and just mixing it up with some of the bigs, is there a reason why he didn't get much play towards the end of the game?
Why he didn't get what?
Yeah, much with the lineup you went with at the end of the game and kind of went away from Jose. It went with LeBron at the point instead of going back to him with the way that he was very instrumental in the way the third quarter kind of played out for you guys.
He came back with 5 minutes to go.
Okay,
But he played 10 straight. He was gassed. He played 10 straight in the third quarter. Then we got him out, and I thought defensively we were better because Jeff was a bigger guy, put him on the point guard, and was able to switch some of the stuff, which helped us out defensively. And then at the 5-minute mark, we brought Jose back.
And with the way he did play in the third, with the shot not quite falling, how big was his defense and in terms of keeping you guys on the run and getting everybody else involved?
I thought Jose did a good job of picking Carlson up full court, just harassing him. No easy catches in the backcourt. Kept a body on him, just stayed physical with him, and he really did a good job. Kind of bothered DC in the backcourt with his pressure. So that's the pressure we were looking for, talking about after game one that we've been looking for. And G Hill did it before he got hurt, and then Jose came in his third quarter and kind of really, took advantage of him defensively.
I know you have a big notebook of ATOs that you like to play around with, but I know you only had 3 seconds left, but how do you know when to try and draw up something with a lot of actions coming off it and when to just give it to LeBron and tell him go make a play?
Just kind of depends on who has it going. 90% of the time you're going to get it to LeBron, but
I guess I mean run a lot of actions to get him something particular, because maybe I'm wrong, but tonight looked like give him the ball and let him go make a play.
Really the ATOs we ran were really just for Kyle, pretty much. And Bronze, we just try to get the switch and just let him attack. If they're going to continue to switch 5 men on him, then we're going to continue to attack and get downhill and, got Turner in foul trouble. So just at the end of the game, 3 seconds is not a lot you can really do. Get it to him and hopefully it makes a play for you, and that's what he was able to do.
Ty, since before the series started, you've been preaching that you want guys to get into this series by taking a charge or getting a deflection or setting a hard screen or whatever. I thought an example of that was Jose getting that jump ball with Bogdanovich in the third quarter. Do you feel like he gave you more than what the stats would indicate? And how helpful was it to have him to plug in during this George Hill injury time?
Yes, that play was big. I think it, got the fans into it. He won the jump ball. But Jose's been steady for us all year. And, when everyone's healthy, it sucks that he's the odd man out, But, I just think G Hill goes down and you have a veteran point guard like Jose, can step in, can make plays, can shoot the basketball, understands the game plan, it's huge. And he's been that guy for us all year. So, hats off to Jose for, what he's able to do.
Check, check. 1, 2, mic check. Check, check. Mic check. 1, 2. Got it? All right.
Nate, Bob Kravitz, WTHR in Indianapolis. Was that a goaltend from your vantage point? Have you seen the video, and why wasn't there a review?
I couldn't see that play from where I was, the angle. I haven't looked at the video. Vic thought he got fouled on that play, thought a couple of things happened, but I haven't looked at the video and really couldn't tell from my angle.
Did you ask for a review, or should there have been a review?
No, I didn't ask for a review.
Hi, Nate. Ken Miller with the Call and Post. On the very last possession, when LeBron got the ball, did you try to do anything to prevent him from getting the ball, or is he just that good to where he got the ball?
No, we had Bogey was basically helping to deny LeBron on that. He ended up going towards half court, and then he went back to his man, and he made a hell of a play. But I'll take that on far as execution on that last play. We have a timeout to talk about what we see out there, and we have a foul to give. We leave here with both of them, and Thaddeus had 5 fouls and was covering LeBron. A little hesitant there, but we had 2 things that we could have used in that situation that we didn't, and we go home with this foul to give and a timeout.
On the previous play before that, when Oladipo actually, whether it was a goaltend or not, I thought you had an advantage with Sabonis being guarded by J.R. Smith. Did you at all want to try to get him the basketball in that situation, considering the game he was having?
No, we had an advantage probably without setting that screen. LeBron has been pretty much directing their defense. We basically had a high ball screen with our 5-man. He bumped off Nance and came up with the screen, and was the guy, the big that switched out. In that situation there, you call off the screen and you just attack Smith, and we went through with the screen. We did have a small on Domas, but in that situation, Victor out there spread. We're going to take our chances with that matchup.
Nate, we always hear about the Jordan rules. Are there any rules available for guarding LeBron, and is there something else you can do?
Well, you can run double teams at him to try to get the ball out of his hands. He's an excellent passer. He's a willing passer. With the shooters on the floor, he basically picks you apart when you play that type of defense. I think the thing you try to do is just keep him in front and make him make shots. He's very capable of doing that. But there are certain places on the floor when he has the ball, we do send a double team. But made a hell of a shot again tonight.
Nate, in terms of, and you talked about this previously in the series, in terms of keeping him in front of on top of your defense, was it just sheer physical dominance that he was able to repeatedly get to the rim? Seemingly,
absolutely. Basically what he is doing because of spreading the floor. At times we're not in our gaps. He sees that paint wide open. They put when they changed their rotation game 2 and put those shooters on the perimeter, it opened up the drive for LeBron. If you collapse on the ball, he finds the 3-point shooter. And what he was doing tonight, he basically just put his head down and attacked the basket, was able to get to the rim way too much. He really did impose his will, I thought, throughout the game. And we weren't doing a good job of holding our ground against him. Basically, he's just running through the defense. We was giving him somewhat of a cushion, and he was taking that and getting to the rim.
Nate Rajaski, ESPN 990. Following up on the Jordan rules, clearly you have a no-dunk rule, or at least you do against LeBron. And playing the laws of averages, generally it would probably pay you off. He goes 15 of 15 from the free throw line tonight, and we have a game coming down to the final seconds. Can you comment on that, just maybe how, not just physically imposing, but he just crossed up the formula by virtue of having something like a career free throw shooting night?
Well, you got to wrap him up. You know, I mean, that's easy. You know, easier said than done. But when he gets to the rim, and you feel that you're fouling him, or you're going to give the foul, you got to wrap him up and not allow him to get some of those shots off. And I thought we were late with our rotations, getting over to give help. Thought we were hugged up on the perimeter too much tonight, and he was at times making a second move and getting to the rim. You know, when he's doing that in the paint, you have to collapse and give help, and we were late tonight.
Nate, also, on the first half, only 5 turnovers for your team, 55%, and easy buckets. That seemed to be the formula. Was that the antithesis of the late game of Game 4, that you guys were determined to have that kind of an offensive showing as opposed to taking maybe the lower percentage shots that sunk your team perhaps in Game 4?
I thought we did a better job of running offense in the first half and certainly in the first quarter. You know, these last 2 games, I thought that we were running way too many pick and rolls. We weren't getting to our second and third option in our offense. We made them defend more in the first quarter, and I would say the first half, and we was getting good looks. We got to the pick and roll in our second and third option, which was much more effective as it was in Game 3, where everything was just a pick and roll. We're coming down, and they were loading up to the offense that we was running. Thought we had more movement. We changed up some things that looked pretty good. Kind of lost. We got back to that quick shooting in the third quarter and started to turn the ball over, and they was able to make a run. But I thought the start was much better.
David Glazier from the News Herald. Coach, after Game 1, you talked about 10 new players, how confident and free they played, and just, you know, how strong they were feeling about their game and their chances in the series. Well, the series has had twists and turns and drama and ups and downs for both teams. What have you learned about your team through 5 games, and what do you think you've learned about the Cavs in those 5 games?
Well, for us, we won it. You know, that's pretty much there's not a lot of talking that needs to be said. You know, playing the team 4 times in 10 days. And we were going into our 5th game tonight, and, you know, what I wanted our guys to do, show how bad we wanted it, and did we believe. And I thought they came out and played as if they believed they could win this game, and they showed that they wanted this game. And, you know, we got one more opportunity. And as I said to them, you know, we have to flush this as soon as possible, okay, and get ourselves ready to play on Friday. But I thought they showed that they wanted to win this game. They came out and played and gave themselves a chance to win it. About
them, about the Cavs that maybe you didn't know at the start.
LeBron is going to, you know, have his fingerprints all over the game. You know, he's still playing 40-plus minutes. You know, he's making reads offensively as well as defensively. You know, when you're giving him single coverage or he has an opportunity to drive, he knows that he has perimeter shooting. So he's taking what the defense gives him. And, you know, he's making his shots. You know, he's either getting to the rim, you know, the game winner. And as you mentioned, the free throws, you know, he's making these shots that we're trying to force him to take.
Last question right here. Coach John Bozika, WHBC. Can you almost, I don't know if take solace in the fact that Vic goes 2 for 15 and you guys lose by 3? Can you do that, or is that not something you like to do?
Yeah, we'll look at that and probably say that. We had an opportunity, you know. We got the last possession, in the hands of our best player, and we didn't make a play. I thought, we didn't execute that play well at all, in a sense of making the reads of who we wanted to get into the pick and rolls. We went a little too early. The attack was a little too early. That left time on the clock for them to have that play. So we gave ourselves a chance. And Victor didn't shoot the ball well, but that's happened this season. We've had other guys to step up and do some good things for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Hi, Victor. Ken Miller with the Call and Post newspaper. I want to ask you about the last two possessions of the game.
Okay.
One, when you can you just explain how that unfolded, and then what happened in terms of the defense scheme that you guys had set up for LeBron?
Talking about at the end of the play, at the end of the game?
Yeah. First, your last possession when you had an opportunity to take the lead, and was that a goaltend or was that a good shot block?
Well, first off, try to hold it, as long as we could in that possession. LeBron was ready to pre-switch. If he didn't switch, he was about to come double. So we came and set a screen. He switched on to me. I got a step on him. Felt like I even got grabbed on the way to the rim. I tried to shoot a layup. It hit the backboard. Then he blocked it. There's replays I guess you guys can see. I guess it's a tough play at the time for him, but it was a goaltend. I mean, it's hard to even speak on it. It just sucks, honestly. It really sucks. Even though we fought our way back, we tied the game up. That layup is huge. Give him credit where credit is due. The three was big time, definitely huge. But who's to say they even run that play? You don't know what happens. So it's unfortunate. It really sucks that they missed that, but we can't do anything about it now. And then at the end of on defense, he made a tough shot. I mean, he was fading away from three, going left. It was tough. That's why he's such a good player. No more questions? It's like, dang, that was the only one?
Hey, it's Jay Michael from Indy Star. Vic, after you guys last lost a game here that you thought you probably should have won, you guys were pretty upbeat and optimistic about your chances in the series, and now that this has yet happened again, how would you explain or describe what the mindset in the locker room is now? Because it seems like it's a significant difference from what happened tonight versus when you guys lost the previous time here when you thought you could have won.
The series ain't over. We still got a game on Friday. The series ain't over. You got to win 4 games for the series to be over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got a chance to win on Friday. I don't think anybody is discouraged or upset. Obviously, it sucks. We want to win. We want to win. It sucks. It definitely sucks. But we play on Friday, and it's a big game because it's the next game, and we give ourselves a chance to come back here and play for Game 7. So we're looking forward to that opportunity.
One other thing, did you guys consciously go away from you early to avoid the traps, went to some of these mismatches with the bigs on the switches to try to maybe ease you into the game a little bit better than maybe before?
I'm not sure. That was a good assessment, good observation right there, but I'm not really sure. We'll see what happens in Game 6.
Vic, Charlie Clifford, Wish TV. Was there talk in the huddle before the final LeBron shot about following him on a catch?
Yeah, they had mentioned it, but it's hard. It's definitely hard in that position, especially when he's facing the basket, dribbling. He throws it up. It's a 50-50 call. And, yeah, so
would
it could have gone anywhere. You don't want to take that risk, especially not, in a situation that's a big situation right there. If you foul him on a three, he goes, instead of a fadeaway three, he shoots 3 free throws. So you got to be really smart in that situation.
Victor Rajewski, ESPN 990. A tough shooting night for yourself tonight, 2 for 15.
Yeah.
How much is that you just had a bad night, and what are the Cavs doing that they are doing well defensively relative to yourself?
I mean, I think I got some pretty good looks today. I just feel as though I just missed. Credit them. They still did a good job, trapping me, switching out. But I feel like I got pretty good looks. Some open looks that I haven't gotten at all in this series. So I just missed. So I'm looking forward to Friday night, though. Again, it's just one game, like I've been reiterating all this whole series. You got to take it one game at a time. Unfortunately, we lost, but there's a Game 6 at home on Friday, so we got to be ready for it.
David Grenham, ESPN. Victor, the potentially missed goaltend included, what's it been like to play against LeBron James playing at this level this series?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great.
Can you, any elaboration on that?
It's been great. I mean, he's the best, so I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying to come out here and compete at a high level, so I wouldn't rather be doing anything else.
Victor Ron Potesta, the Sports Animal 1390 in Youngstown. Speak of your guys' character. 2 times in Indianapolis, down double digits. Tonight, down 8 at the end of the third quarter. Come back all 3 times and win one of them and come very close to winning tonight. Speak of the character of your team.
We've been doing it all year. We've been down, but we don't quit. There's no quit in this team. We play, and we play until it's over. And, I'm sure everybody really thought it wasn't going to be a close series at all. So, again, people might be a little shocked, but we're not. So we're looking forward to Friday.
Vic, John Bozika, WHBC. How much of that attitude starts with Coach McMillan?
Which attitude?
The attitude of not backing down.
I mean, he's the head coach. His resume speaks for himself. Not really a lay down, quit type of guy. If you meet him and talk to him, from the beginning of the year, he's been saying we're going to win. And that's exactly what we did. And that's why we're here today. So right now we focused on getting a big win on Friday. And it's huge. We got to be ready to play. It's win or go home now. So what better way to have it? All
right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Ken Miller, Calling Post. LeBron, two questions. The first one on the defensive play that you made on Oladipo to get you the possession to get the game-winning shot. Did you think that that was a clean block or a goaltend? And then your thoughts on that game-winning shot, how that evolved.
I definitely thought it was a goaltend. Of course, I didn't think it was a goaltend, man. I'm trying to make plays like that all the time, and he made a heck of a move, got me leaning right, and he went left, and I just tried to use my recovery speed and get back up there and make a play at the ball, and I was able to make a play, and then I don't know, just trust it. Trust what I've always worked on, and being as a kid, you always have those 3-2-1 moments. When you're a kid and being able to have one of those moments, and that's what it kind of felt like. It felt like I was a kid all over again, just playing basketball in my house, and I would makeshift hoops and my socks as a basketball, and making the noise. So that's what it felt like.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. I know sometimes you want this to be done by us when these type of questions are asked, but where do you rank that game winner in amongst the other ones you've had in your playoff career?
I don't know. I'm gonna say it again. You already said it. I'm gonna let you guys do the ranking of where that fits in, my playoff performances. But I don't know. It's giving us the lead in a playoff series, and I think we played some really good basketball tonight, and for me to be able to make that shot and for us to take the lead in the series, that's what's most important.
LeBron, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. The game winner tonight, did it remind you at all of the one that you had against Orlando in your first tenure here?
It didn't remind me until a lot of the people in the locker rooms who was around that time kind of brought that up, and the difference, it was on a different side of the floor. The inbounds pass on a different side of the floor, and I also didn't have a chance to put the ball on the floor. But it ended up being pretty much in the same spot, kind of like in the middle of the floor. I think it has some similarities.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. LeBron, you had a monster third quarter. He had 15 and running all over the place. You had 4 minutes off in the second quarter. Do you think that played a role in you being able to kind of push the tempo and dictate the pace the way you did in the third?
I think the best thing about the third quarter is we got stops. We held them to 17 points, and a lot of them came from the free throw line that they had, and just try to change the way we've been playing in the third quarter, and obviously that's been one of our best third quarters all year. So, just trying to put pressure on their defense, get into the lane, make my free throws, and find my guys as well.
And then before the series started, you drew quite a chuckle by comparing this coming playoff run to the Hunger Games. Where are you guys right now in the Hunger Games?
Well, we just got to continue to find hiding places, and make sure we stay out of the way. People might be ganging up on us, so we got to just figure out how we can stay alive. And tonight was another opportunity for that. Hopefully tonight we can get some sponsors to send us something down from from the hierarchy, send us some food or some. I'll take some rest. Send me down some rest, and we get back out there on Friday.
Jeff Chidell, News Herald. LeBron, can you talk about the way your other teammates play defense, especially JR on Oladipo?
JR was fantastic. He's been fantastic the last two games defensively. Just trying to, make Oladipo, just try to fill him out on the floor, make it tough on him. Oladipo's an all-star for a reason, and put so much pressure on your defense. And so for JR to take the challenge, and we just try to be his eyes and ears behind him, because when you play him on the ball, sometimes you don't know what's going on behind you. A lot of the times you don't know what's going behind you, and that's where the communication has to be at all-time high. And we just try to make it where, like we're saying, we can be his rear view. And but he's been great the last. He's been great in the series period defensively. And I told him after the game, listen, every shot that you took tonight, I felt like they were going in, and he had some really, really good looks, but he never let that get into interfere with the defensive side, and he was great.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. With a shot like that at the end, is there any momentum or anything you can take from that going forward?
No, it gives us a lead in the series. It's one game. We can talk about it tonight. It's going to probably be talked about tomorrow, but Friday is back. It's Game 6, and we got to figure out a way to play a complete 4-quarter game, and it's going to be tough in that building. It's a hostile environment, and we look forward to the challenge though.
One more quick thing. You haven't really had many celebrations like that with this team. What was that like?
No, I had one, when we played Minnesota in the regular season. I was able to hit a walk-off there and, find my guy once again, Jetty. That's my guy. That's my rook, and he's always on time and on target. So, I found my guy once again, and, deja vu all over again.
Steve Ashburn, NBA.com. You repeatedly and all night long attacked the rim directly, and I'm wondering how much energy did those rushes to the rim require of you, and what did you make of their attempts to either take that away from you or not take that away from you?
I just try to read the game, and I felt like I had some space, especially in that third quarter, to kind of get into the lane. They kind of switched up their defense a little bit on me in the third quarter, and I started to see some seams, some cracks that I can kind of infiltrate and make moves and just put pressure on their defense, and I was able to do that. Then they kind of switched up their defense again in the fourth quarter, did not allow me to have as many lanes as I had in the third quarter. So, it's just a chess game. It's a chess game, throughout, 4 quarters, and with their coaching staff and our coaching staff and their players and our players. So, I'm always just trying to figure out ways I can, just try to stay, above the curve.
LeBron, Hayden Grove, Cleveland.com. Kind of bear with me here. You were 15 of 15 from the line. Have you ever had a performance like that where you hit that many free throws, and were you in some kind of rhythm that allowed you to get there? Just take me through the 15 for 15 from the line.
I am in a pretty good rhythm, with my free throws right now, and I kind of just went back and watched some film on, some of my previous free throw routines when I was shooting the ball extremely high. Kind of went all the way back to Miami days when I was shooting the ball extremely well at one point, throughout the playoffs. So I don't know. I sometimes throughout the whole season, that's the one thing that I kind of tinker with throughout the whole season, but I found a rhythm. I found a comfort zone, and it's here to stay for now.
Ashley Bastock, Metro Networks. LeBron, Ty talked about in the third quarter kind of making an emphasis to keep bigs on bigs defensively for you guys. When you make an adjustment and aren't switching necessarily everything, does that sort of up your defensive intensity as a team?
Well, if you look at the second quarter, we did a lot of switching, and Sabonis and Thad and even Booker, they came in and they put some pressure on our smalls, either by scoring or either by just getting to the free throw line. And I think T. Lue made that adjustment and saw that in the third quarter where we said kept big on big, and we was able to rebound a lot of their misses when they did miss. So it definitely helped us out a lot.
They're fouling you like that and trying not to let you have dunks. Does that inspire you as much as being criticized and then going 15 for 16 at Toronto?
Nah, listen, I don't even, for me, I just try to make plays to help us win. I don't really get involved in all the extracurriculum. If it's in between the lines, then I'm all for it. If it's outside the lines, I don't really doesn't really bother me. So for me to be able to make plays tonight, like I said, and put pressure on their defense, that's that's beneficial for our team.
Hey, Aaron Goldhammer, ESPN Cleveland. How would you describe the moment after you hit that shot that you shared with the fans?
Well, they're electric tonight. They was electric tonight, and I just try to. I mean, they know me. That's what I was saying. They know me, for 11 years of my career, and a few of them kind of paid attention to me when I was in high school as well, maybe. So I just try to, they pay their hard-earned money to come see us play, and for me and my ball club and for us to go out there and have a game like we had tonight, that was just my show and our show of appreciation.
LeBron, considering the circumstances being tied 2-2 and your starting point guard misses another game, what kind of lift did Jose Calderon give you guys?
I mean, he's given us a lift all year. When his number's been called, he's just been ready. I mean, it's just the professionalism that he has and he brings to the table. So, as much as we hate that G Hill hasn't been able to play the last couple of games, we know we have a safety net in Jose who's ready to go. Because he's been put in this position a lot this year, all the way from the beginning of the season. He was kind of our third point guard, to start the season, and he ended up starting a lot of games for us and playing a lot of big minutes. So he just keeps himself ready, and, it's a luxury to have him. Appreciate it.